Happy Monday, guys. Wake Up Barstool. It is a football Monday. I'm T-Bobby Bear, Brandon Walker. We got Meek Phil, Liam Bluttman there in the producer's chairs, and our fearless leader, Dave Portnoy, joining us live from Nantucket. Dave, what's going on, man?
How you guys doing? I'm excited to see how this remote works. Big step in the show, big progression.
You like the two-man desk better than you like the three-man seat.
I think every time we eliminate a chair, it looks cleaner. I mean, I will be back in the office next Monday and most of the Mondays, but it does look good with two chairs.
Ominous. All right, guys, let's go ahead and dive right in, okay? Yes.
Massive football weekend.
Huge football weekend. Saturday college football slate, unreal. Every primetime game delivering. But then we get to the NFL, man. And what a day that it was. I think we go around our biggest NFL takeaways from the weekend. Dave, kick us off. What captured you Sunday?
I hate the refs. I mean, I made a little video ranting about it, but that pass interference, Travis Hunter, to me, totally unacceptable. Like, I just can't have a game. The NFL puts so much effort into winning games, right? And the players and the fans, and it's this billion-dollar industry. And then you have this play right here, 4th and 5. And to me, perfect defense from Travis Hunter. Perfect. You want to say there's a little hand fighting? Fine. But he turns at the very end, knocks the ball away with his hand. To me, that is how you teach it. To throw a flag, change the entire game. Obviously, it's 4th and 10. Stuff like that. I don't know how to fix it. I'm not going to sit here and say I know how to fix it. But I know this. That flag can't be thrown. And I'm going to ask Gruden and Greg when they're later. I would rather you miss a call and you go back to the Notre Dame game holding. I would rather you miss a call, be like, I didn't see it, than throw a flag on something that didn't happen. To change a game with a ref, yes, I also bet on Jacksonville, but it's infuriating. That flag to me is infuriating and cannot happen.
Look, I mean, dude, I get it. I'm a Saints fan. I lived through the Nola no call, right? Like, Sean Payton was so angry that he literally created a rule change where he tried to get PIs reviewed. And now the refs pushed back hard. They said no more. I'm with you. Like, I don't know that there's a fix to be had necessarily, but I am always down to let the boys play. Like, let the actual football players decide the game, not the referees.
You just have to see it. It's like you can't, you have to know. Like, you have to know, or maybe this is going to sound crazy. You know, with a roughing the kicker, there's two types, right? You have the full 15 where you get the first down, then you have a running into the kicker where you get 5. For this, where you don't know what's going on, clearly you didn't see it, maybe you take a second, regroup with the other refs, and maybe it's a 5-yard penalty and still 4th down or whatever it may be. But it's just such a massive, massive game-changing penalty, and the guy played perfect defense.
It's kind of interesting to me. I didn't thought it was like a yellow card, red card. I mean, college football did that with targeting, right? For years, we thought it was ridiculous, where it was like, you know, the label absolutely targeting, he's out of the game now. Sometimes they don't kick you out. You still get a penalty. Brandon, football weekend, NFL, what stood out?
So I had two, and one is that the Cowboys-Giants was so incredibly, eminently watchable.
It was crazy.
It was such a great, wild game. Two teams that probably won't figure into the Super Bowl equation. You know, Dallas can't play defense. The Giants can't really play anything. But it was just two teams in the fourth quarter. Russell Wilson looked like it was 2012 all over again. Dak is going down the field. It was an incredible... After Saturday, those great college football games, this felt like a college football game on NFL football. Not to say the NFL football games aren't close and exciting, but there were mistakes, there were blown coverages, there were blown penalties, there were blown everything, and it was just a remarkable game. And my number 2 is Daniel Jones is just good.
Dimes, baby.
Daniel Jones is just a good football player for the Indianapolis Colts, and I believe that leaving the New York Giants is the fountain of youth in NFL football. I'm sorry, Meek Phil. It is. You leave the Giants, you are going to have a good season, and Daniel Jones is a good starting quarterback in the NFL, and I'm not sure how many people expected that through 2 weeks.
Meek, how do we feel?
It's through 2 weeks. Sam Darnold was 3-0 with the Panthers. Wait till the end of the season, see how it goes. And on the other part, I mean, the Giants will never beat Dak Prescott. He's 14-0 versus us since his rookie season where we beat him twice. It's just never going to happen. We will not have the power of just winning
By the
football
way,
games versus Dak.
Sam Darnold's also a good quarterback.
Yes,
No, he's not. He's
yes,
awful.
he is.
No,
what
he's
is-
no, he's
the
awful.
Vikings would kill for Sam Darnold.
System
right
QB,
Meek,
no.
Meek, nothing you said was convincing in the slot.
Well, I convinced myself. That's all that matters.
I have a question. Walker is a Dolphins fan, supposedly, and I would argue the Dolphins-Patriots game was far more like a college game than the Cowboys-Giants. There was back-to-back kickoff returns for a
was wild.
touchdown, crazy plays all over the field, no defense. He's just ignoring. Also, with the Cowboys, I don't know if you saw Jerry Jones celebrating in the locker room. Laugh out loud funny. They were doing like 1, 2, 3. Hey,
Yeah.
he was off beat the entire time. I don't know if you can catch it. He was a 1 sec. Walker, I see you shrugging and going, what? But I'm right about the Patriots Dolphins. I assume you're watching it. It's your favorite team. You want to talk college game. They're better teams than what we just saw.
Yeah, the Patriots won that game. I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, my goodness, I love the Patriots-Dolphins game. That was trash coming down. You look at the fourth quarter execution with the Dolphins. It was frustrating. It was terrible. Tua doesn't belong in the league at this point. Why am I going to give that a spotlight when I watched my guy, Dak Prescott, win that game? You got to be kidding me.
Well, you compared it to a college game, and this Patriot
Well, they both were.
Dolphins
That's
game
fine.
had all those plays, that like crazy college game. And that, by the way, I know Tua stinks. I've been saying Tua stinks for the last 100 years. Nobody's been the number one Tua hater than me, and I'm right because I'm a quarterback whisperer.
Really? J.J. McCarthy, let's whisper about him for a second.
He's played 2 NFL games, Brandon. He's a national champion. He's played 2.
He can't throw, Dave.
That
He
offensive
can't
line,
throw.
as you said before we started, T-Bob could have blocked for the Vikings last night.
Thank you.
It was
Oh, we're doing blocking now?
7 guys
Thank you,
on.
guys.
J.J. McCarthy stinks out loud. He is terrible.
He's had one good quarter.
He's had
He's
one
played
good
2
quarter. He's
NFL
played 8
games.
He's played 8
Tua's
quarters.
been in the league on his little ukulele for 100 years now. How many years has Tua been in the league? Tua can't throw.
Tua
and
stinks
when he
too.
can't throw, he's getting knocked out. So I don't know. We're talking about a guy who's played 2 games who has a C on his jersey.
He's played 8 quarters. 7 of them have been 7 of the worst quarters you've ever seen an NFL quarterback play.
He's got more wins than Tua does this year.
It is kind of crazy that when you think about the Vikings, like throwing themselves behind JJ, because they had Danny Dimes. They had Sam Darnold. Like they had some options. So I'll still hold out a little bit of hope because I trust KOC. Dave, you said you're a quarterback whisperer. I don't know about that.
He's not a quarterback whisperer. He can say
no,
anything.
No, we know Kevin O'Connell's a quarterback whisperer. And if he chose to go with JJ, there's something there, but we haven't seen it much yet.
I
It's
had
been
a
flash
private
in the pan.
conversation with O'Connell at a Kenny Chesney concert. He came up to me and he said, let me tell you about J.J. McCarthy. This guy's a first ballot Hall of Famer. I couldn't be more confident. You're so lucky to watch him at Michigan. And let me tell you something else. Unlike you two, I watched another quarterback during my time at University of Michigan lead them to a national championship who was a late round draft pick. And I said from day one, watch out for this guy. This guy has everything you need. You know what his name was? Tom Brady. So you two can sit there in your puffy little chairs on set. But I've watched Michigan quarterbacks who have the intangibles that have led teams to national championships be overshadowed, overdoubted in the NFL and turn around and have a great career. He's played 2 games. Let's hold the phone.
A, Tom Brady didn't lead Michigan to a national championship.
Yes, he did.
Nebraska was
He
a
was
true
on the
national
team.
champ that year.
He was on the team.
A half a national championship. He was on the team, didn't lead anything.
Speaking of quarterbacks, look, for me, man, it's got to be the Joe Burrow injury, right? Like, this has got to be one of the biggest stories in all of sports right now. Joe Burrow, MVP candidate, played for a Super Bowl every year. And ironically, right, the Bengals so used to starting 0-2, having to claw their way back. They're finally 2-0. First time since 2018. They sit atop of the AFC North alone, and yet Burrow right now rumored to have a grade 3 turf toe that could keep him out for 3 months, dude. It is a brutally ironic twist for a Bengals organization. This is what I don't get. They're going to commit $275 million to their quarterback, and year after year, speaking of bad O-line, just get him killed. I mean, just get him killed every single game, and they continue to pay the consequences, and they don't adjust. It's an awful time to be a Bengals fan.
Yeah, there was an interview with him. I don't know where I saw it, but they asked him, is it fair to say you're injury prone? And I think he said, yes, right now. I've missed a bunch of time. But I mean, he certainly doesn't have help at the offensive line. But then you got to also really start asking, is this just kind of a star-crossed quarterback? Because when he's on, he's as good as there is, but he's missing a lot of time now.
I just think it's embarrassing. You just want to talk about an LSU guy. Dave only wants to talk about Michigan guys. Am I the only one who's unbiased up here?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the Cowboys and the Giants?
Yeah, exactly. Opening with Dak.
You literally
Yes.
said you didn't talk
Dan-
about the Dolphins because they're your favorite team.
Our producer didn't even get the joke. He said, wait, didn't Dak go to Mississippi State? No, yes, let's be painfully clear. Brandon literally did the exact same thing that every single one of us just did. Here's the deal with the Bengals, okay? Lucky for them, they're somehow 2-0, barely beating that Browns team, getting the PI, barely surviving the Jags. But look at what they got coming up, man. They got to go to Minnesota and face the unstoppable J.J. McCarthy. Then they got to go to Denver. They got the Lions at home. They got the Pack. They got to go to Lambeau. Like, this could get really bad for Bengals fans. They just have to try to tread water here for a minute.
What did you guys think of that call in the Bengals game, by the way? When the Jags had the ball, they're up 3. It's 4th and 5. Now, the guy dropped the ball, Brian Thomas.
Yes.
So theoretically, it should have been completed. I thought that was an interesting call not to go for the field goal.
So, go ahead, Brim.
Well, I think it was aggressive. I think it's kind of a newfangled coaching approach, but I liked it. He dialed up a first down.
Yes.
Brian Thomas, by the way,
Yeah.
alligator arms over the middle. He did it 3 times yesterday for Trevor Lawrence. He stops going when he knows he's going to get hit, and he did it there. He was like looking around to see who was going to hit him, and he dropped the ball. He needs to be better.
Well, it's kind
Absolutely not the definition of alligator arms, though.
Alligator
Not even
arms
close.
is
no,
when
I
you're,
mean, it is.
Yes, it is.
Yeah, because you don't extend.
when
'cause
you're
like,
across the
scared
middle
of
and
getting
you're
hit.
scared you're
It
going to get
wasn't
hit.
across the middle. He wasn't running. It was like he literally turned around. The ball was between.
Oh,
the
that
numbers. He
play was
dropped
not
it.
alligator arms. I would agree
He's
with
not
that.
listening to what I said.
But yeah, but
he's
he was
not
talking
listening to
about
what I
the
said.
game as well.
I said 3 times he got alligator arms. I
You
didn't say
weren't
that play.
insinuating that drop was alligator arms?
Hold on, guys, because no, the original question was good. We don't need to debate alligator arms. The call, Dave, is fascinating to me because as a play caller, right, we normally just judge it based on the results. Did it work or not? Did you get the first down or not? But there can be good calls that don't work because somebody screws up. Like, I think Liam Cohen made the right call there. It should have worked. His best player, the player that he said they were going to run the offense through in the preseason, just didn't make the play when he had to. And then what ends up happening, Jake Browning goes on a 90-plus yard game-winning drive. Like, I like Liam Cohen trying to maintain the initiative and just go ahead and close out that game while he can.
It's the same
Yeah, he had a
principle.
lot of things.
It's the
Go
same
ahead.
principle as last year when Sirianni went for it on 4th and 2. He threw a pass to Saquon Barkley with the Monday Night Football game on the line. Saquon drops it. The call was right. The play call was right.
Yes.
The player messed up.
Yeah.
And it would have won the game. He was trying to win the game. Sorry, Dave.
Yeah, Liam Cohen.
No, it's an all-time. I mean, you're judged. I have no problem with the call because it worked. If he drew up a bad play, probably criticized.
Yes.
He actually should have won twice because he's betting on if we don't get the first down, our defense won't let that drive, and then you get into that pass interference, which we talked about earlier. The most famous for me in my fandom is Bill Belichick going for it on 4th and 2 against the Colts
Oh, God,
in the AFC Championship instead of punting. We didn't get it. We ended up losing the game. I loved the call. I thought if you punted, Peyton's going to go right down the field and score anyways. Probably my most famous 4th down call. And I loved it. And I loved it when it happened, and I stood by it. But, yeah, you get judged by results, clearly.
Liam Cohen did say 100% of the time, the data, the analytics, the feel, we're going for that. He made the right call. There's actually like a serious Brian Thomas Jr. conversation to be had just 2 weeks in. I don't know if I get a takeaway or not, but that was going to be mine. Trevor Lawrence has targeted him 19 times this season. Brian Thomas has caught 5 passes, put up 62 yards, has 1 yard after the catch, 2 drops, an interception's been thrown. He is legitimately scared of getting hurt. I have watched like with intent because I want to see what Travis Hunter's doing too. And I'm looking at Brian Thomas. It just wasn't 3 times yesterday where he's clearly scared, bracing for contact early, making sure he's on the ground, not getting hit. It happened 4, 5, 6 times. He's genuinely afraid of contact. And for your superstar wide receiver to be scared of a little hit, I mean, what are we doing here? You got to take a lick.
Yeah, I mean, again, Liam Cohen literally said before the season they were going to run the offense through this man. So I agree with you. With that level of expectation, you have to perform better.
Can I slide
Especially in today's NFL where, like, you can't hit anyways.
Yeah, exactly. You're actually protected within the rules.
Can I slide a quick 10-second NFL take here?
Yeah, dude, let me hear.
The Bears mega stink.
Oh, I know, and I want to
Bears
get into
mega
that.
stink.
It's so bad. It's so bad. It's so depressing. I saw Eddie's video yesterday.
They stink.
The pain of a man who knows the season is over after 2 weeks. It's Is he? But like for me, as a Saints fan, like I knew we stunk. So I started 0-2. Okay, whatever.
Yeah.
Par for the course. Bears fans thought they were going to be good. They thought Ben Johnson was going to be the guy. And then Jared Goff comes in and wins the breakup so handily yesterday and just sends the Bears fans into an absolute mental spiral.
There's haves and have-nots in the NFL. I have a list. I was doing that. Like, there's arguably 6 to 8 teams that are so bad, Saints being one of them.
Thank you.
And really no future, Dolphins being one of them. I mean, there's a lot of really, really bad 0-2 teams. Their season is over. I'd agree with you. The Bears have a little hope. Again, Caleb Williams, I don't want to keep tooting my own horn. I'm a QB whisperer. I knew he was not the guy. I tried to tell the Chicago guys. But there is nothing worse than being 0-2 and you're finding out your quarterback's not the guy and you're just stuck. Like, I'd rather be 0-2. The Saints, I don't think they think Rattler's the guy, right?
No, bro,
So
he's
they know they
he's
gotta
0-8.
adapt.
He's 0-8 in his career at this point. Like, it's just never going to happen.
Saints
but
are
it's
between
fine.
guys.
Yes, we're between everything, like top to bottom on the roster. Where the Lions contextually start to really hurt is obviously the Ben Johnson element, right? Because Ben Johnson leaves, and week 1 the Lions look like they suck, and it's like, or where the Bears fans, really hurt. But week 1 the Lions look like they suck, and it's like, oh, well, they don't have Ben Johnson, and Bears fans start to pump themselves up. Then they have the first drive on the Monday Night Football, and ever since that first drive, it has just crumbled. And then, guys, Jared Goff is awesome. Like, at a certain point, we have to acknowledge this. Like, the amount of it's his 5th 50-point game in his career. I think that ties Brady, like maybe only Breeze, or it ties Manning. And I think only Brady and Breeze have more. Like, Jared Goff is legitimately a great NFL quarterback. Full stop.
And then you start connecting the dots, too, where you're like, the Bears blow a big lead to the Vikings. Vikings look like trash last night, and then you start looking, oh, we lost to the Vikings. You play a good team, you lose by 30. It's terrible to be a Bears fan. It's a great football city. I have a lot of friends in that city. I feel awful for them. They have, since I've been doing Barstool 2 decades, they haven't even sniffed like apple picking weather football. They are horrible, and they're horrible every single year. It's amazing.
I mean, I guess you got to go back almost exactly 2 decades. That 06 year. Think about it. They went with sexy Rexy Grossman to a Super Bowl, and it's been awful since. All right, guys, coming up next here on Wake Up Barstool, we are live in Chicago here at the beautiful Barstool Sports Chicago HQ, but we're going to send it over to Dave. We got the football G-Spot,
Why?
Greg Olson, Jon Gruden, FS1, more Wake Up Barstool coming up next.
Why does that go blue?
What's up, world? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here on FS1. It is time for the football G-Spot. We got the legend himself, Coach Jon Gruden, here on the program. Greg Olson be joining shortly. Dave, Coach, what's going on, man? How we feeling? Feeling nicey on a Monday?
Feel pretty good, thank you.
Coach, I followed intently your picks last night in that Falcons-Vikings game. Weren't even close. I knew we were dead the second the Falcons were jamming it up the Vikings' throat, running for 9 yards a carry. I said, they're not going to throw the ball very much. Anyways, we're in here. If Greg joins, he joins. I don't know what he's doing. I thought punctuality was a key to broadcasting and playing football. I don't know where Olson is, so you and I are going to go at this. Let's start it, and I just got a bunch of different topics. I want your opinion. The Brian Kelly press conference. And I'm a press conference guy. I'm one of those guys, I can watch every clip of the Herm Edwards, of the Denny Green. I love coaches going ballistic after games. This was after a win. Let's play the Brian Kelly. The first question, he goes off. Let's play it.
Brian in the back. I know you love these immediate post-game sessions, but what are you seeing with your offense?
Stop. Really? Is that the first question? We won the game 20-10. Try another question. What do you want me to tell you? I just laid it out for you. We played the game to win the game. We played the
Very
game
reminiscent
to win the game.
How
to
about
Herm
third
right
down,
there.
then? What is going on with third down?
It's one game. Last game, we were great on third down. You're looking at this from the wrong perspective. LSU won the football game. Won the game. I don't know what you want from me. What do you want? You want us to win 70-0 against Florida to keep you happy?
No, I think people want to know why you can't run the ball, quite honestly.
We can run the ball. Did you see the last play of the game? That's all you need. You just need one. There's a ridiculous questions. And I'm getting tired of it. That football team just worked their tail off to get an SEC win, and you want to know what's wrong. You know what? You're spoiled. You're spoiled. This team is 17-1 at night. 17-1. Give them some respect. How about that? Give them some respect instead of micro-analyzing every little thing. This is ridiculous. For a group of seasoned reporters, that kind of question is so out of line.
And we'll go to T-Bob in a minute because I know he's an LSU guy. What's your takeaway here? What do you think when you walk to the podium, get asked, was that fair or foul? The question and his response.
I love what Brian Kelly said. I think there's certain guys in the media, when you go into that room, you just know there's a couple guys that are going to throw curveballs at you. And I thought Brian Kelly hit that out of the stadium. I loved it. I mean, LSU's got a whole new offensive line. Everybody went to the NFL. They just beat Clemson at Clemson. They come back. They beat Florida, whose back is against the line here, man. And I think he did a hell of a job addressing that. I wish he would have been a little more harsh, personally.
Well, I'll say this. Clemson and Florida, I don't know what those victories mean. I think they still hate this guy in Baton Rouge. T-Bob, where are you guys with Brian Kelly?
No, I think this is a misconception nationally here. You know what determines whether they like a coach or not? No, Brandon, you don't know. I know.
I know.
I'm from there. I've been on that beat for years now. You ain't gonna tell me how people feel. I know how people feel. And if you win, they love you. It's simple. It's why I tell these coaches to not be sensitive. Right? You control your own you control your destiny. It's a meritocracy. Win and you're in, and he did. And look, LSU's offense has problems. There's a time and a place for that question. Brian Kelly is 1,000% correct. After you beat Florida with great defense, 5 picks, Tiger Stadium at night, SEC win, you don't open the presser asking about the offense. It's crazy. It's crazy. And I love that he said spoiled. You're spoiled. And that's the damn problem.
Next one, Coach, and this I already know you and I see together. We got 2 clips. You have been complaining about the refereeing in the NFL. I went ballistic yesterday. You already talked a little bit. That Travis Hunter play, to me, perfect defense from Travis Hunter. Cost them the game. You also have a huge play in the college ranks, Notre Dame, 4th down, playing A&M, and there is a blatant hold. If we can show both plays now, the hold and the pass interference, I'm curious from you, what bothers you more if you're the coach? The non-call or the call? That's the pass interference that's called, which this is perfect defense. I'll say it 1,000 times, perfect defense, and then you have the Notre Dame play.
Yeah, it all makes me sick, Dave. I mean, when you have a blatant missed call, it bothers you. The end of the Notre Dame Texas A&M game is ridiculous. It's not a fringe call. The guy tackled the Notre Dame player. I mean, he tackled him on 4th and 11. You know it's going to be a pass, and you know it's a 4-man rush. So what the hell are you looking at? And I'll say this about pass interference. When we keep reviewing these plays at this super duper slow-mo crap, everything looks like pass interference.
Yep.
And for these referees to get paid this kind of money and to blow these calls at the end of the game, there's just too many calls that are being decided at the end of the game. And I throw it back to you guys. That's why I think the coach on the sideline, who's got this stupid red flag, should be able to throw the flag out there when a call is screwed up. Go up in the booth. You got all these $1 million referees and this technology. Get it right. There's no reason we should sit there for 59 minutes and 36 seconds and have some call send us home pissed off every day.
Yeah, but
So now, we had an era of you could review the pass interference.
1 year.
And they couldn't do that either, and they even sometimes get it wrong and obvious. That's the only thing. How do you review a pass interference? Because they did it, and they couldn't do it. They couldn't get it right.
Well, the next thing, Dave, is let's have some accountability here. I mean, you go to the league office the next day, you say, okay, he missed the call. I mean, let's put the name of the official on the back of the jerseys. Let's have some accountability, because some of us coaches get run out of the league and called dorks on these national radio shows. I mean, how about these refs? Where is the freaking accountability on some of these calls? Notre Dame just got kicked out of the NCAA playoffs. Last year, they lose to Northern Illinois. They run the table. If they beat Texas A&M, looking at their schedule, they're going to be in a tournament again. But these calls, I saw one in the Arkansas State-Iowa State game.
Oh, yes, yes.
I'll tell you what. If you put the names of the officials on the back of the jerseys, I think we'd have a lot of widows out there. I don't know how we can go that far to be putting. I agree with you. It's a terrible call. Maybe a game suspension, maybe some. I said it before. I can live with the missed call of Notre Dame, brutal, because I want the refs to know they saw something. If you miss it, I don't know. I was looking somewhere else. A bug flew in my eye. But to throw a flag on something that didn't happen, I can't take. Switching to the NFL. Kansas City Chiefs, 0-2. Now, they played two good teams. You could argue they could be 2-0. So here's a question for you. You got a bunch of 2-0 teams. I'm going to ask you, would you rather be the Chiefs at 0-2 or the following teams at 2-0? Some of them are very easy, no-brainers. But I'm going through all the undefeated teams. I guess some are 1-0. We'll start with the Bills. I probably don't have to spend much time here. Bills and Chiefs right now.
Yeah, I mean, right now I'd rather be the Bills. Just
That's what I figured.
You know what I've seen on tape the first 2 weeks, but I'm not gonna cry in my sleep because I'm a Kansas City Chief right now. I'll tell you that.
Exactly. So you got the Bengals 2-0, Burrow out for 3 months. Would you rather, and this includes the record, would you rather be the 0-2 Chiefs or the 2-0 Bengals right now?
I'd rather be the Chiefs.
Agreed. Colts 2-0.
I'd still rather be the Chiefs.
Did someone just moan there in the background?
Raised his hand for some reason?
I've fallen for the Danny Dimes storyline. I love when we count a guy out. They prove us wrong. Shane Steichen, he's a quarterback whisperer, Dave, and he's finally now got a guy that he's clicking with, man.
You would rather be the Colts at 2-0 than the Chiefs?
No. All
right, so then
the Colts should have lost that game yesterday. The Colts should have lost the freaking game yesterday. I mean, next team, who you got?
These are both, they're playing, so they're both 1-0. Chargers 1-0 with the game tonight, or Chiefs?
I'd still rather be the Chiefs.
Raiders?
I'd still rather be the Chiefs.
Eagles?
I like the Eagles.
Yeah.
Packers? This is a tough one, I feel like.
I like the Packers. I like the Packers a lot.
Bucks?
I love the Bucks. I'm loyal to the Bucks too, Dave.
So you're gonna take the Bucks at 1-0
rather
the
be
Chiefs?
It's only 2 weeks in. I'd still rather be the Chiefs.
49ers,
Chiefs,
Cardinals,
Chiefs,
Rams,
Chiefs.
Wow.
So you got in many respects. You just said who you think can win the Super Bowl: Bills, Packers, Eagles, Chiefs. There you go.
I think you and I would agree. Everybody on this panel would agree. There's 7 or 8 teams that have a shot, and there's 10 or 12 teams that have absolutely no shot. And there's a few teams that are going to be competitive.
Now I'm going to reverse it, because this is a league of haves and have-nots. If you were a fan, and I don't want to get dark, so I'm not going to say jump off a bridge or anything like that. But if you were a fan of these teams, which one would cause you to jump off a bridge first, okay? These are some of the worst teams we got in the league. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to throw them all there, like any hope, no hope, some hope. The New York Jets. You jumping off a bridge?
Yes, I've been in the water for hours.
Dolphins.
Yeah, I am drowning.
Saints.
Yeah, I'm having a hard time with the Saints right now.
Browns.
Really hard time. Hard.
Now the Browns, they haven't gone to the quarterback yet. Their defense is unbelievable.
One quarterback, Dave.
Well, Dylan Gabriel, you're not going to let him play, or Shador?
You'll see them both soon, Dave.
And so do you think they just have no faith in these guys? Because they have a Super Bowl defense.
I don't know about that. I mean, they've got a couple great players on their defense, but They beat the Bengals, who have a backup offensive guard playing. They're not very good up front. And yesterday they got destroyed. I mean,
Wait. Can
did-
somebody
they-
give me the
they-
stats?
Baltimore just tried to get out of town, man. They tried to run the clock.
Yeah, but there was all sorts of. I'm pulling up right now. I think Henry's rushing stats were 11 carries, 23 yards. Coach, that's
Well,
a
he was
Super Bowl
tired.
defense.
He was tired, Dave. He had 200 yards the previous week. He was probably tired.
Giants.
I do like a lot of the Giant players. And I just am really disappointed in their pass rushers yesterday. They had a chance to close that game out with the strength of that team. I'm ticked off at the Giants, but I do see some life there.
So you're on land. You're still on land with the
I'm
Giants.
I'm on land.
Bears.
Boy, they really ticked me off. There's just nothing to like yesterday. I was really hopeful of this team. I still am not going to quit on them because I like their coach. I'm just disgusted with their defense. We can say whatever we want about Caleb and this offense, but that defense, they got shredded.
How long do you give Caleb?
I think you got to give him the year. I think you got to give him the most of this season. He's the #1 pick in the draft, learning a new system. And they do have a lot of new pieces around him. So I got to give him some time. I mean, you guys want to throw the first pick in the draft in the Lake Michigan after 2 games.
Well, I'm not a
Dave,
Bears
what's going
fan.
on?
I just know what the Bears have done. They passed on Mahomes. That's just a fact. They passed on Jaden Daniels. That's a fact. There's a lot of quarterbacks in that draft. They I think, are the most depressing team. Carolina Panthers, another 0-2 team.
Boy, that's tough. Yeah, I'm in the water. I'm looking for a raft.
So you're done with Bryce Young.
I don't think I'm done with him. I'm just having a hard time watching that outfit yesterday. I admire their comeback against Arizona, but they're just faceless on defense for the most part. And I think they got a long way to go.
Titans.
Wow. I don't like their uniforms. I am definitely submerged.
Even though the quarterback, see, to me, that's surprising because the quarterback has looked pretty good.
Well, he's had some great individual plays, but he's been sacked 12 times. I mean, he's got to be sore as hell. I just worry about the Titans, man.
Hey,
And the
Coach,
last one I got for you, they haven't played their second game. The Texans, who I picked to win the Super Bowl last year, preseason, it was a giant disappointment, and I think are regressing. What do you got on them?
Yeah, I'm not as high on the Texans as you are. I feel them slipping away on offense. They can't protect the passer, and they just struggle with any consistency on offense. And they have a bad body language. I don't like their body language for some reason.
All right, so of all those teams, the only one that you stayed on land was the New York Giants. Coach, we're going to come back to you later in the show to shred some people. Probably a lot of these teams may be in it. Thank you for joining. And if anyone knows what Greg Olsen is, feel free to tell me. I don't think he'd do this if he's still in the league. You get fined for being late for something like this. Thanks for joining, Coach.
Thank you.
What's going on, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool here in FS1. We got some confirmed breaking news. Meek, what do we got?
Per Adam Schefter, Bengals QB Joe Burrow will need toe surgery that will sideline him a minimum of 3 months. The Bengals have been calling around other free agent quarterbacks, known to have to add at least one more to the roster. So you can take a guess what quarterback they're going to add to the roster in the free agent pool.
Oh, absolutely brutal. I think we've circled back around to the Bengals Joe Burrow talk. Again, devastating for that fan base. At least they're 2-0. But right now, it's time to talk about an incredible weekend of college football. Let's go with the voice of college football, our guy, Brandon Walker.
Yes, thank you.
He's got you a fresh top 10.
I do.
Brandon, how we feeling?
Feel good. I mean, that was an invigorating weekend of college football.
Really was.
You're right. The death of Clemson when Georgia Tech took them down. There's something about Georgia Tech when they stormed the field, and I don't know. This is very inexact science. They got a very pleasing field to be stormed. I don't know if it's the size and dimensions of the stadium. We can get into that later. Here's my top 10. I still got Ohio State, although they didn't look that great against Ohio. I got Penn State. They haven't looked that great against nobody yet. Miami, I think, is fantastic. They beat Dave Portnoy's #1 team, the South Florida Bulls, last week, 49-12. Georgia.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did.
I
You
said
it
if they
multiple
won
times.
the game, Brandon, I do what's on the field.
Georgia beat Tennessee, huge win. They jump up. I knocked LSU down a little bit because because that Clemson win not aging
Yeah,
that
that's
well.
fine. I don't
The
care.
Florida win wasn't impressive. I know Brian Kelly got mad at the question. The question was right. Just should have come later in the press conference.
Yes, I agree. It's a legitimate question.
Oregon is number 5. I don't really know where to put them right now, but they look like just an absolute problem out there. And then the rest of it, Illinois is kind of a placeholder to me. I don't know that they've proven it, but I don't see that many teams that deserve to be up there. Tennessee stays in because they played so well against Georgia. That's my top 10.
There you go. And A&M sneaking in at 9.
A&M sneaks in at 9. Their offense is so much more explosive than I thought it was going to be. Marcel Reed is so much better than I thought he was going to be. Mario Craver, the transfer wide receiver from Mississippi State, is electric and one of the best receivers in the country. Didn't see that coming, but they can score a lot of points. And now that they're through the Notre Dame trip, the season and all possibilities open up to Texas A&M right now.
One, it's not just Craver, it's Concepcion.
It's
right?
the entire offense, though, really.
And this is something that in doing the shows, with quarterbacks that I really started to have a new appreciation for, which is just how much a receiver matters, right? Because I kind of grew up on the Drew Brees thing where it's like, oh, you plug anybody in, they're going to be fine. Craver and Concepcion has changed everything for Marcel Reed in that offense. Dave, you look.
Well, I just don't give cookies and cupcakes and candy canes for teams that lose. If you lose, you lose. Tennessee lost. So to see them in the top 10, get them out of there. Oklahoma's undefeated. Their defense has looked amazing. They beat a ranked Michigan team
who shouldn't have been ranked
thoroughly. So put them in, give them their flowers. There's plenty of other undefeated teams, but I hate this culture. This is a reward. Everyone gets a trophy generation. You lost the game at home that you had, and you have him in the top 10 with a loss. Get him out of there. Walker is notorious.
This is why he doesn't know what he's talking about. This is why this man does not know what he's talking about in college football. If we had it your way, we just wouldn't need to vote. We would just take the records and we'd plug them into the computer, and then we would have our rankings. That's not how it works.
I look at all of it.
Tennessee went out there against the top 5 Georgia team, had them 21-6 at 21-7 at one point, ended up losing. Josh Heupel figured out a way to lose that game, so I'm not that high on the coach's decision making right now.
Well, he's part of the team.
But that quarterback is very good. That team is very good, and I'm not going to sit here and tell you.
Oklahoma.
I'm not going to sit here and lie to people and say there's 10 better teams in Tennessee just because they lost a tough game. Oklahoma doesn't have a good win yet. They beat Michigan,
they did.
who isn't
Did
good.
you see what Michigan did last week?
Michigan isn't good. Michigan is not a good
I don't
football
know
team.
that you watched what they did to the Chippewas.
This is very funny. It's very reminiscent of when I was drinking wine in the gambling cave and arguing with Dave about binary results. Because, yeah, he said you should not be ranked if you're 0-1. I probably fall somewhere in the middle here because I am very high on Oklahoma. I'd have no problem with them popping into a top 10. But, I mean, I do think Brandon is right. This was a quality loss, if such a thing exists.
This is SEC.
But this is where no, it's not. No, it's not.
I had Tennessee in this game, and I'm not convinced Georgia's some superpower at all. So we're living in the past. You lose the game at home. You should win the game when you're at home and you're up 21-7. Your coach loses track of his testicles and starts playing really conservative football, and you lose the game. So
this is the only thing I push back.
You don't stay in the top 10.
This is what I push back on, though. Yes, Heupel should not have run it the 3 times when he did. He should have been more aggressive. He still had them lined up with an easy field goal to win. It's like we talked about with Liam Cohen.
It wasn't easy. It was 43 yards.
43 yards. 43 is completely acceptable.
That's not easy.
Oh, my God.
And it wasn't just, you're just talking about that. You're just talking about that one sequence, okay? He had multiple times in that game. In the first half, there was a 4th and 2 at the 49-yard line. Kirby Smart goes for it. 3 drives later, Heupel has it. 4th and 2 from the 40-yard line. He's got a 7-point lead. He punts it. I don't know why he punts it there with his quarterback who had 400 yards passing. And then in the second half, they get a turnover in plus territory. They get a strip sack at the 30-yard line. He runs it up the middle 3 times, kicks a long field goal. I don't understand where Heupel's testicles went.
You're just giving reasons why they shouldn't be a top 10 team.
No, I'm not. Shut up.
Thank you, Meek. And I'm looking at this underlay right here on the screen. Number 6 Georgia defeats number 15 Tennessee in overtime. And Walker has them at 10.
This is Brandon Walker's top 10. This is Brandon Walker's top 10.
Walker's this lady from the AP poll who's ranking people up, not even watching the game.
Dave, you had South Florida in the top 10 last week because they beat
and now they're out.
And they beat Florida. Yeah, they're out. But you know why they're out? Because they're not that good. And we saw them finally play a good team.
You let them prove it on the field. Results matter.
Oh,
hold on.
Portnoy over here.
Let's go. I want to go here to Bloody, okay? Because he's been deep criticizing the AP poll. Bloody, who has the right of this? Where should Tennessee be?
Well, I that's where it gets foggy because there's something that needs to be clear in. Like, I think I come away from that game thinking Tennessee and Georgia are two best teams in the SEC. Like, I think Tennessee's a top 5-6 team, but you can't rake them there with the a 2-1.
Thank you.
So that's just
if
where it
you
gets
just
foggy.
said you
yes,
think
but
they're
that's
top
where it's
5 or 6
foggy.
teams, then yes, you can.
No, you can't. But that's where it gets foggy, Brandon Walker.
Results
That's why our
thinks
system
the
is
top
so
10
horrendous.
is prediction market. He thinks it's a prediction market, and he wants to be proven right
It's
at
not
the end of the
foggy at all.
season. They will
It
have
is.
plenty of time to prove they belong there, but you don't reward them with losses.
If somebody says, Liam Bluttman, give me your top 10, and you say, I think Tennessee's a top 5 or 6 team, and you don't put them in your top 10, you're lying to cover yourself.
I have them. They would still be in my top 10. It's just when you have the loss, and there's teams that haven't lost ahead of them, and the level of competition is still fairly similar early in the season. I can't do it justice of putting a team with the loss ahead of a team with no loss. That's just why the system kind of stinks. Like, we're all at fault for it.
We're arguing something stupid. Let's celebrate the death of Clemson football.
So I was going to say, let's just celebrate the day of college football as a whole. Because every time window had a major game and everyone didn't just deliver, it went over the top. I mean, you mentioned the death of Clemson, absolutely. Kind of a final stand for Dabo. All the expectation entering the season, and here comes Brent Key. Remember last year against Georgia? Georgia Tech so close to the signature win, they couldn't quite get it done. This time they do it with an impeccably operated fire drill field goal, a 55-yarder, guys. 55-yarder to win the game, kill Clemson, storm the field. Then we get to 2:30. We have Tennessee trying to become a perennial contender, and Gunnar Stockton comes through with a 4th and 8 touchdown. Gotta have it, game on the line. Are you kidding me? And then the coup de grace, A&M going into South Bend, 4th and goal. Everything hanging in the balance. They come up with a touchdown. It was just one of the best days of college football I've ever experienced.
Gun to head, do you guys think Notre Dame wins out there in the playoffs?
I would say, I would want to say no because I wouldn't put them in, but I'd never underestimate the committee and the college football media populace's ability to absolutely cater to Notre Dame. So, yeah, I think they might be. I would not put them in because these were their 2 best chances at good wins, and they failed on both of them.
But if they go 10-2, right? If they go 10-2, there's at-large spots available. It's probably going to be competing with 9-3 teams.
Yeah.
Absolutely they'll get it.
With their defense, though, at Arkansas and Taylor Green and at Pitt and Eli Holstein will not be easy.
Yeah, I don't think they will go 10-2, right? Yeah. I don't think they will. But if they do, I think they'd make it.
Yeah, I agree. I was saying they're dead. I like trolling Notre Dame fans a lot. And they did. That was a brutal call. I mean, it was definitely, that wasn't just a hold. That was a tackle. By the way, also, I mean, you want to talk about worrying about kids' feelings. What broadcast was that? Was that game on CBS, NBC? Was it NBC? Whatever channel.
ABC.
The kid who dropped the snap on the extra point. They ISO cam that kid. That kid, they didn't take him off the screen. I think he knows he blew it. I think they wanted tears from that kid. But I do think they run the table. They're in there, Notre Dame.
I thought Dave was talking about the Tennessee kicker on ABC because this goes into the hypo decision making and everything, in the length of the field goal, 43-yard, whatever. The kicker is hyperventilating on the sidelines for 5 to 10 minutes before the kick is ever attempted. Like when your kicker is literally going through the emotional roller coaster that he was, missing that kick was the least shocking event of the season.
Also, that's a choke. Like, there's some kicks you miss, and there's some you choke. That one never had a shot from the second the foot hit the ball.
It never had a shot from the second they showed him for the first time on stage.
Hold on now. It was a full team choke, too, because it was supposed to be a 38-yarder.
I agree, yeah.
And then they had a false start, moved it back 5 yards.
Oh, yeah, I forgot about the false start,
The entire team choked right there, coming down from Heupel.
See, again, Heupel. See, it was an even closer field goal that he had lined up. Then he got the false start.
Full team choke from a top 10 team.
Also,
Dave, I don't like your avatar over here.
He was right. Again, hey, I took Tennessee, and I think Tennessee will end up at the end of the season being a top 10 team. But I don't reward losers. That's what's wrong with this country.
To me, it's not a reward. It is reality. Reality is saying last week when South Florida had won 2 games against ranked teams that, oh, let's pump our brakes. Those 2 ranked teams weren't that good. That was reality, and that was me being correct. They ended up getting beat 49-12.
That's
reality
like Walker, though. That's like if the 1980 Olympics, the U.S. team stuns Russia, are you ranking Russia ahead of them the next week? Because they play 100 times. The Russians are going to win the next 100 times.
That was a tournament with a medal at stake, and we still had to beat Finland in the gold medal game. Anyway,
but you get the point.
I get the point, but it wasn't a good point.
I thought that was Meek. What'd you think
Don't
of that
ask
point?
me.
I think it was a great point.
No, admittedly, Meek is completely biased.
He planted Meek in here for this reason.
Yeah, he can't be the arbiter. He cannot be the arbiter of this.
Well, I'm unbiased. I don't have a team.
Thank you, Meek.
I have beef with your poll still. If Utah had a Big Ten logo on there, would they be in the top 10?
So
what are we doing there?
Utah is definitely a team that has looked really good to me so far, and they would be right outside the top 10. But there's only 10 spots for 10 teams. I can put everybody in there.
There are only 10 spots for 10 teams, and that's a team that deserves that spot. But because of preseason prejudice and
I think Tennessee's a better football team than Utah.
Illinois. Do you want?
Hey, Utah,
dance?
keep that in mind. We're heading to Utah. First time I've ever been to state. Brand Walker just said you're not a top 10 team, and Tennessee is better than you guys. So keep that.
I'll say
in
that
your
on
pipe
Saturday
when we show up at the crack of dawn for big noon kickoff. Walker hates the Utes.
That is not true. I think Utah is a fantastic team. I like the quarterback. I like the team. I was super impressed with Tennessee on Saturday. Therefore, they're my number 10 team.
Impressed in a loss.
Tennessee's not the team to have issue with. In
Illinois?
your top 10. Yes.
Yeah.
Utah is a team that has a great offensive scheme, a great quarterback, great running game, very reliable. They have 2 top 15 picks at left and right tackle.
Yeah.
They are the complete makeup of a great Big Ten team. They'll be right outside the Big 3 in the Big Ten, and nobody wants to give them their flowers because they don't play in that conference. And that's a massive mistake and an indictment on the ineptitude of people that watch college football.
Okay.
You and a lot of other people included are tripping on this Utah team.
I love your Utah team. I believe in Utah. Kyle Whittingham's resume points that we should believe in Utah, but we also can't ding Illinois. Not after Dave's just sat here and say wins are all that matters. I mean, Illinois kicked ass. They went into Duke, great win. Like, no, I'm not going to take Illinois out my top 10.
Hold on. Is going into Duke a great win? I don't think that's a great win.
And when you end up dominating the manner that they did.
Who'd you have in that game, Walker? Just curious. Duke, Illinois. Who'd you have in that game?
I followed Liam Bluttman, who said Duke.
Yep, and Duke turned the ball over 96 times.
That's the Darian Mensah experience.
Correct.
Dude.
That's
Shout
football.
out Tulane,
That's
by
football.
the way.
Great win for
Shout out
Illinois.
Tulane. Shout out to you. A lot of college football to get to. We also had some job changes, right? Our first firings of the college football season. Liam, congratulations, my friend. Okay, we're going to talk to you about that a little bit later in the show. Hour 1 of Wake Up Barstools in the books. We got Dan Lanning joining us hour number 2. It's going to be a ton of fun, guys. Go grab a coffee. Tell your friends. Run to your TV. FS1, this is Wake Up Barstool. What up, FS1? This is Wake Up Barstool, hour number 2, and I am so excited right now to be talking to one of my favorite people in college football. That is the head coach, not you, Brandon. It's the head coach of the Oregon Ducks, Coach Dan Lanning, fresh off of a win on Big Noon Kickoff right here in Chicago. Coach Lanning, what's going on, man? Thank you so much for waking up with us.
Yeah, doing great. Thanks for having me, guys.
Coach, I want to start here. Coming into this season, obviously y'all were incredible last year. Did something no Big Ten team has ever done in beating Penn State, Ohio State, and Michigan. And you lost a lot from that team. Now, we knew you brought in a lot of talent, right? But that can go awry. That can be volatile. And yet y'all have looked like one of the sharpest and highest executing teams in the entire country thus far. What is the key when you bring in that many new guys to getting them to click this early?
Yeah, I think you just got to be really open and honest with our players. You know, we're able to have like real conversations. Guys, we're losing some talent. We're losing some experience. We're losing some leadership. Who's going to step up? And there's probably a little bit of misconception, too, about like the amount of portal players that we have. Like less than 20% of our snaps in the first 3 games have come from portal players. It's guys that we've developed. You know, and then there's some freshmen that are contributing early. And I've always said if you're good enough, you're old enough. We've got some really good young players that are able to contribute. And it's this season's really been about strength in numbers, like how many guys above the line can play winning football. And we've had a lot of guys that can play winning football for us so far.
Coach, when you look at what's coming up and how last year ended, it's kind of a bit of a cruel story. Where again, 13-0, win the Big Ten, do all these incredible things, and you get to the playoffs. What happens happens, and it's almost like that season is lost a little bit in some ways. What was your message to the team over the offseason to kind of motivate them and get them ready for this year?
I don't think it's any secret, Mike, but losing hurts, man. And it's funny, you can have a remarkable season, but it not finish the way you want, and it's a failure, right? And that's the way competitors are. We're no different. We want to win every opportunity we step on the field. But ultimately we learn a lot from that. We're big on growth, right? What can you take from it? What can you grow from? How can you get better? And as a staff, we talked about doubling down really on our process. I really believe in our process, but one of the things I think that makes us the best at a lot of things we do is we're willing to change. We're willing to adapt as the game changes, as the climate changes in college football. We're willing to make those adjustments, and our players do a great job with it.
Coach, a couple of weeks ago, hi, Brandon Walker, #1 college football media personality in the world. A couple of weeks ago, you played Oklahoma State. You beat them 69-3, and that whole week was a bunch of back and forth where Coach Gundy, really all he said was you guys have invested in your program over there, and you're pointing towards the future, and you're putting everything into it. And then you beat him 69-3. It looked personal out there, Coach. What went wrong? What made you so mad about it?
His numbers were off, Brandon. It was more like $100 million is what we spent last year.
Okay.
No, it wasn't. His numbers were off. But look, in my position, you're going to use any fuel you can to motivate your team, right? And sometimes you're looking for it, and sometimes it just reveals itself. And we had an opportunity to do that. We didn't score in the fourth quarter. It wasn't a situation where we're just trying to run up the score. But we're trying to go play good football, winning football. And our guys executed well that day. So ultimately, it was. It was a fun experience for us, but an opportunity to grow and get better.
I got a question for you, Coach, and this is, you made headlines in what I would say a not on the field way. You decided to talk about the Charlie Kirk assassination, and a lot of people want me to talk about it. We've had controversy a little bit. We have different, accounts talking about or not talking about it. I thought what you said was great, that your locker room's a diverse environment. Everybody gets along. For you, and I am curious, as a leader, you represent the school, you represent your team. What went into you deciding to make a public statement about that? Because it can be construed a lot of different ways. Did you talk to your team first, or was this you from the gut? You're like, I have to do it, I'm going to do it, and I don't care what anybody else thinks. This is what I could do as Dan Lanning.
Yeah, it helped that there was a question, really about the climate. But I've spoken on stuff like this before. It probably just hasn't garnered the attention before. And after the Utah game in 2022, we're dealing with school shootings in the world. And it just makes me sick. And I feel like when you have an opportunity and you have a voice, shame on you if you don't use it. And I do think there's a lot that people can learn from our locker room. So, whether it's an assassination attempt, whether it's a school shooting, like we've got a problem with just the respect of human life in this world. It bothers me, right? And especially as a guy with 3 young kids. And it's just a little nerve-wracking that we just don't respect human life, regardless of who it is. It's wrong. Murder's wrong in every way. And I think when you get a chance to speak on it, you need to. And the political climate, I'm not going to hop into politics, but we don't work together. And so we're not solving a lot of problems. It'd be great if we started to work together and really start to solve some problems.
I respect that. It's a tough thing. I don't think as many people maybe totally realize it. If you just shoot from the hip, no, I didn't mean to use that term, but speaking your mind is not easy when you represent so many diverse opinions, people. So a lot of respect for you tackling that head on.
I said it Saturday, like some people were going to be upset because I didn't say enough, and some people will be upset that I said anything at all. And it's just it shouldn't be a divisive concept, right? Like, hey, let's care about each other. But for whatever reason it is, and hopefully we can grow as a nation because we need to.
Yeah. No, well said.
Coach, you mentioned kind of the diverse backgrounds of the locker room. That's something playing at LSU I definitely recognized, right? Like I came from a small, mostly white Georgia private school, and all of a sudden there's just all these different people from all walks of life, but it's definitely got more divisive publicly now. So I know you're very process oriented. Is that something that is within y'all's process? Like, how do you seek to create unity with people that are coming from all over the country, from all over different socioeconomic backgrounds?
We spend a ton of time with these guys outside of football. And I think that's really important too now, with how teams change. You know, the amount of players you can gain or lose in an off season. How much time are you spending together outside of ball? You know, and whether it's us climbing up Spencer's Butte to honor some of our, former players, whether it's having dinner or a meal over at my house, whether it's going out and bowling together, like as much time as we can connect outside of football. Because I think in today's world, like natural climate, it's normal for guys to go back to their dorm room, shut the door, and start playing video games or hop on their computer. And we need real human interaction. We need to spend time with each other to connect. And the connection, I think, is the separating factor for us here at Oregon.
Totally different question that I've thought about and shifting gears back to more football. Now, I'm a Big Ten guy, I'm a Michigan guy. When I saw what I consider soft West Coast Pac-12 football joining our conference, I said, these guys are not going to be able to travel. They're going to be coming in, and now you're a little cold weather. How is the travel? To me, that was a huge story. Always these long trips. How have you guys adjusted to that? Is it a factor? Is it not? You guys seem to be the only ones kind of handling it. Like UCLA, look at them, soft. USC, soft. You guys won the Big Ten last year. What's the travel schedule? How have you adjusted to life in the Big Ten and Big Ten football?
Yeah, you can sit here and complain about it, or you can use it as a unique challenge. And I think that's what our players have done, is said, okay, this is going to be a unique challenge. I think we travel 16,000 miles this year. Sure. I think there's some teams in our conference that travel 4,000 miles, right? So it tells you we knew that the chips might be stacked against us in a little bit, especially being the new guy in town. And we knew that there was a little bit of a voice out there that said, okay, can these guys handle the Big Ten? So that was a great opportunity for us to prove that, we play tough football. You guys were talking about it before I got on here, but, there's been some traditionally, bloody-nosed teams in the Pac-12 with Utah, Oregon State, some of those teams that were able to run the ball. And I think a lot of the Big Ten carries on some of that same mindset, with the way the brand of football is played with Iowa and Michigan. So it was fun to get to be a part of that in this conference this past year and, prove we belong. And I think the results speak for themselves.
Coach, I know the last thing you want to do right now is look forward to the Penn State game in a couple of weeks. So let's look forward to the Penn State game in a couple of weeks. It's the first big, huge Big Ten game this year. And he just asked you about the travel. Well, now you're not only traveling, you're going to Happy Valley, you're going to Beaver Stadium, you're going to a whiteout, you're going into one of the craziest environments. It's probably going to be a top 5 matchup. Just talk about that game. I know you got a game this Saturday. I understand that. But I'm asking about the Penn State game and what's coming up.
So just don't give you coach speak right now is what you're saying.
That's what I'm trying to get to, yes.
Please.
Oh, man, that's so hard. We got Oregon State this week. No, that's part of what's been so exciting for me coming to the Big Ten. You never get to, getting to play in venues that we're getting to play in. And Penn State will be an unbelievable venue. We got to go to the Big House last year. I don't know if Dave remembers that one.
Well, we got it down here, Coach. You probably have nightmares. We got this kid, Bryce Underwood, may have heard.
He's a baller, isn't he?
He's coming around. They let him use his legs last week, ran for 3,000 yards.
Yeah, he's a baller. But no, that's part of what you sign up for. That's part of what's so exciting about being in this conference. And I know the whiteout game, they've got an unbelievable fan base. It's going to be loud. I've experienced some games like that in the past. I'm excited for our players to get to enjoy that. But obviously right now, Brandon, it's Oregon State.
What about the Duck? Is the Duck doing publicity
Good
stunts?
question.
When the Duck's head fell off, was that pregame? Was like, hey, we're playing maybe not a big game, not a lot of coverage. Let's get some media attention, have the Duck fall down, trip, head run off. I think the Duck is starting to pull one off on us. I don't think he's acting natural out there.
McAfee said that to me. He goes, that was on purpose, right? And I was like, that's just way above my thought process. I'm a PE major. To think about intentionally letting your head fall off for a publicity stunt is impressive. So if he did,
I feel like that was coach speak.
Yeah,
I feel like that was coach speak. I feel like
you really think they asked me?
Yeah, no, I think guys like everything that's going on in the program. They're not doing fake Duck publicity stunts with you without you putting a stamp on it.
Yeah, you're giving me way too much credit. I got a lot of other stuff to worry about rather than, hey, now when the Duck runs out, let's go through this one more time. I'm trying to figure out what we're running on kickoff or kickoff return.
Well, it's kind of funny thing, Coach, because I want to ask you about the uniforms. Does that fall under your purview? I mean, look, Oregon's known for having incredible uniform combinations. Every time brings something new. The Shoe Duck coming up this weekend. Tell us about it.
How awesome is that? So I was never a shoe guy until I got here. I was never a jersey guy until I got here. And then when I got here, it's like, absolutely, let's embrace this. It's part of what's made Oregon so special. And Phil and Penny Knight, Bill Bowerman have been so special to this program that this was actually a surprise for Phil, because we knew if we asked Phil, he would have probably said no. The guy who doesn't want attention, isn't interested in being front and center, and doesn't necessarily want credit for all the success that he's helped create, obviously, at our program and just throughout sports, right? He's been so impactful to sports. But this jersey tells an unbelievable story about a coach and his player building a unique bond, and creating one of the most dynamic companies in the world that have gone on and changed sports forever. So there's a lot of really cool hidden messages in there. You know, the handshake between Bowerman and Phil to really start, the company Nike. The change over time, some recognition of even like the Olympics. We all remember Michael Johnson wearing the gold cleats in the Olympics. There's some gold in the uniform. There's, mountains that tie to, his trips overseas, and then even here, in Oregon. So really cool story behind it, and somebody that deserves a lot of credit and attention for where our program's at right now.
Oregon is the only school that I have no problem doing these. You shake your head, Walker. It's the only school.
You don't want to say Oregon.
He's Oregon. It sounds funny to us.
I'm about to pay him a
funny
couple.
to
It's the
us.
only school that can do these trendy, fancy electric uniforms. I let them get away with it. I hate it everywhere else. I hate getting rid of the traditional. Oregon is almost traditional and being untraditional. Obviously, Army, Navy. But all these other schools that change the uniforms week to week, garbage.
So what should I say to that, Dave?
That's a compliment.
Yeah, I think.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Teams like Oregon and Washington.
Oh man, look, guys, if this doesn't tell you why Dan Lanning's one of the absolute best right now, Coach, cannot thank you enough. Lock in for this weekend, right? Good luck against Oregon State. Can't wait to watch Penn State, all of it, and really looking forward to looking at those uniforms this Saturday. Thank you, Coach.
Appreciate you guys. Have a great
Thanks,
one.
Coach.
Oregon head coach Dan Lanning, absolute legend. This is the thing about him, man. He's so young. He's got so much energy. Like in this ever-changing landscape, he is perfectly placed to be the leader of that program.
You guys are saying I say Oregon wrong?
Yeah, I think it's a ball. To my ears. Yeah, to my ears.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
Oregon.
It's Oregon.
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 Oregon with the win, and we'll be gone and right back. What up, y'all? Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. I hope you're ready to get excited, guys. We do it every single Monday. It is time for Coach Jon Gruden's Shred Line, baby.
I love it. You can shred in a good way and shred in a bad way. But one of the things I'd really like to shred is guys wearing number 0. I can't stand seeing my favorite running back, Jahmyr Gibbs, wearing number 0. Everybody in the league has guys wearing number 0. Even my favorite guy, Roquan Smith. I hate that number. Everybody's wearing number 0. What's next? Fractions? Decimal points? What are we going to do? Put 3-4 digits on these guys? You think Barry Sanders would wear 0? Can you see Reggie White wearing 0 or Derek Brooks? Get rid of that number. Go back to the conventional digits. I don't know how you guys feel, but what really deserves a shred today is Greg Olson. I mean, Greg Olson doesn't even come in here, and I've heard all the excuses as a head coach. I've heard them all. But for a grown man to say, I overslept, and to get away with it, I want to shred Portnoy. I want to shred all you guys for allowing this. I expect some fines. I expect something because we're here, aren't we?
Yeah, this is one of those situations, and I've heard you talk about it, Coach. You talked about it with AB, Antonio Bryan, Brown. When you coached them, sometimes you can't really discipline them because you'll lose them. So I have to be a player's coach with Greg. Be like, we'll get him next time. Pat him on the ass. Be like, it's okay. Get that alarm clock. Now, if this is Rico Bosco, you cut him. You just see you later. So you got to teach everybody a little, coach them a little differently. I don't have a lot of leverage here with Greg. So even though he's mad, I'm trying to coach him up.
That's a great comeback. That's why you're the boss, Dave. That's excellent.
And I'll also say, in the NBA, for example, and even hockey overtime, referees put their whistles in their mouths. They let them play down the stretch, final couple minutes. I don't know why they don't do that in the NFL. Like that leverage call, garbage. Let it go. With the time running out, these have to be egregious penalties. And of course, we talked about earlier, the one that is egregious, Notre Dame, they don't call. So I don't know. Terrible refereeing.
I think referees should understand this. I learned this when I was doing Monday Night Football. I sat up there with Jerry Austin, who wore the white hat for 3 Super Bowls. And his philosophy on pass interference, holding calls, is those calls should call themselves. Like the interference call on the Jacksonville Jaguars yesterday. That is not an obvious PI call where we're all sitting in a bar saying that's PI or that's holding. You can't miss the obvious penalties. You can't miss that holding call at Texas A&M Notre Dame. You can't make that call against Arkansas State. You can't do it. And you can't make those calls unless they're obvious. I just think it's over officiating. There's too many technical rules. I think my blood pressure is a little too high now.
Let's go. Coach Gruden, the shred line, baby. Getting us pumped up here to Monday. Coach, cannot thank you enough. Can't wait to talk to you again soon, guys. Remember, Pro Football Show coming out later this week. Coach will be giving you everything you need to know about the league there. Coming up next, here on Wake Up Barstool, we still got plenty of college news to get to. We got some firings. We got a ton more NFL storylines. And we got Gavin Adcock coming by as well to talk about some drama over the weekend.
The country singer?
Yeah, keep it live.
Yeah,
Here, go ahead, Dave.
Very viral. Very viral.
Zach Bryan, FS1, next. What's happening, y'all? Welcome back. Wake Up Barstool here on Monday. Dave joining us live remotely. And we got to talk about the first couple major firings that have taken place in college football. Virginia Tech fires Brent Pry. Look, that was a once proud school. I don't exactly know what their status is in this modern era, but it's better than whatever Pry's been doing. So he's out, but more importantly, for this show at least, because we probably have one of the 10 remaining UCLA football fans in the country right now, in Liam Bluttman, Deshaun Foster out as the head coach of the Bruins as they absolutely get embarrassed once again this weekend. Bloody, how are we feeling on the Foster news? You've been very on record. You want this program to hit rock bottom to start the bounce back up.
Yeah, and they hit rock bottom on a Friday night. Big Ten Network, nobody really watching, everyone asleep, waking up, seeing that they got dominated by New Mexico. The final score.
Tough New Mexico team, though, bloody. Tough New Mexico.
Don't let him do that.
I will let him do that because people forget I'm a big Jason that guy. I'm a big Jack the Ripper Lane guy. I'm a Scotty Humphrey guy, and they were able to dominate on the ground without Scotty Humphrey even playing.
But he's not doing it for you. He's doing it for himself.
Now,
I don't care who do it. I just do it for me, not for thee. And I'm just saying straight up, New Mexico should have won that game 49-7. It was an absolute bloodbath, physical dominance in the trenches. T-Bob, you congratulated me earlier on the show for Deshaun Foster getting fired.
Yeah.
There is no congratulations to be given. It should just be a simple handshake and, hey, you're writing a decision that should never have been made a year and a half ago that dates back to the ineptitude of Martin Jarmon, the athletic director, who should be fired immediately. The guy that didn't fire Chip Kelly in November of 2023, thus letting Chip Kelly go and parade the interview coaching carousel for every available job on the market until he got the Ohio State offense coordinator job in February of 2024, leaving us hung out to dry and having to hire Deshaun Foster, having to when Tony White was available and willing to take the head coaching job, and we opted not to do that. I am one of the 10 remaining UCLA fans. I am a diehard. I am very hungry to get back on track.
Tears there for a second.
No. There's no tears to be had. There's just passion because I see all you guys, all my friends, the Mississippi States, the Michigans, the LSUs.
The big three.
Yes, the big three. You guys have gotten happy moments in years past. I haven't got one since UCLA came back to beat Washington State 67-63. I haven't had a reason to care about this football team because Chip Kelly didn't care about, Deshaun Foster didn't care about, and I just want to get back on track, and I'm tired of what the national media is saying, trying to say this isn't a good job.
Okay, so that's exactly what I want to question you about here, Blood. I'm going to give you a chance to respond. This comes from Stuart Mandel. I'm going to read you the tweet exactly. Deshaun Foster had to go, but UCLA's problems are much deeper than the head coach with no easy solution. $200 million athletics deficit over the last 6 years, no NIL pot of gold, complete fan empathy, Big Ten competitors way more invested in football. Good luck to the next head coach.
Big Ten, the final part is valid. The rest aren't. debt was paid off by main campus. Way to do your research. Thank you for being lazy. I mean, you have a massive job. You have a massive role to play, and you don't really care about getting the facts right. So that's really good to know. I'll make sure not to listen to him in the future. What was other stuff you pointed out?
No NIL pot of gold.
Wasserman's are ready to give money to a head coach that is right for it. Chip Kelly wasn't right. Chip Kelly, I love Chip Kelly. I love watching his scheme, watching his offense. He's a tactical mastermind. He didn't care about any part of college football. So how are you going to invest in a guy that isn't willing to put in any resources to being a good recruiter, to fielding a good team, to caring about the transfer portal?
Now, and then fan apathy will take care of itself if you win. So
Correct.
one more
Look at
bloody.
what the Rose Bowl was doing a decade ago. It was popping.
One more bloody. Who's your names? Do you have a wish list? Do we have a wish list ready to go?
I have mine, yes. A lot of the coaches I've won in years past are gone, doing better things now because other programs are more seriously. The one thing that doesn't need to happen, and again, is Marge Armand needs to go. Like that. That's the immediate.
The AD.
Yes. Too busy swiping up on girls' stories, whatever. Wish list, Dan Lanning's guy, OC Will Stein. Loved him at UTSA. I want him to be a Bruin really badly. Similar path here. Georgia defense coordinator Glenn Schumann. Those are my top two.
Yeah.
I would take Jed Fish. I know Jed Fish would hopefully bring DeMond Williams and could ignite a rebuild much quicker. Has a pass with UCLA. He was our interim. Our floor is Tony White.
What about Kalen DeBoer?
If DeBoer gets kicked out of Tuscaloosa, he's welcome here with open arms.
Who was the NBA beat reporter who went to be like the GM of like Fordham?
Oh, Woj.
Adrian Woj, yeah.
Woj. They may have to do that with you, Bluttman. They may have to pluck you out of here and be like, this guy's the head of everything of UCLA academics because athletics. I don't think anybody cares like what you do. I do think there is a general disinterest from that school in the fan base. I don't know about the NIL, but I think you got problems.
No, you're not wrong. You're very right. And I would have to tell UCLA, no, I work here at Barstool. I'm not taking this job. This is the only place that I actually want to work. So apologies. I will do what I need to do to help the program back into shape. I don't have the money that you do to invest into Michigan. I could offer Bryce Underwood $300 million to come play at UCLA. I don't know where that money is coming from. There are a lot of things that we need to figure out. The fan support will be right there in the Rose Bowl if we hire the right head coach. And again, I will continue to stain this guy's name because he is one of the worst people at their jobs, regardless of the field. Doesn't matter if it's the AD at UCLA or a barista at your local coffee shop getting your order on, spelling your name incorrectly. Martin Jarman is one of the most incompetent human beings on the face of the planet right now, and he needs to pay for his crimes. Thank you.
I don't think. I mean, that was
Well, hold on now.
Blood.
I know that was an impassioned rant. I've been there. Like, I get it. That's just a scorned UCLA fan going off on UCLA. These two firings, though, are very important in the grand scheme of college football. I think it's opening up the craziest coaching carousel we have ever seen. Last year, no SEC jobs changed hands. This year, you're going to have as many as 6 or 7. And now across the country, they're opening up 2. Virginia Tech is very interesting. They're going to be open in a time where, like, the ACC's future is uncertain. Like, there's a lot of uncertain things right now. And these two coach firings this early in the season just tell us that chaos is coming in the coaching ranks.
So I don't know, Virginia Tech's status with NIL, money, how rich, poor school. I'll say this, going to a football game there and a passionate fan base, it doesn't get better. Obviously, enter Sandman. You can walk to the stadium right on the center of campus, and they care, and they'll be there. So it's the opposite of UCLA in the sense, you're going to get a passionate fan base with a history there who wants to win. I just don't know that they get the NIL. If you don't have the money, I don't think you can win no matter where you are here.
I have a bold take about Virginia Tech. They desperately need Tony Elliott to succeed at Virginia this year because that Virginia job comes open. I think that's actually a more attractive job to coaches than Virginia Tech would be. 20 years ago, Virginia Tech would be a more attractive job, but now with the SEC looking to expand and looking at sniffing around North Carolina and Virginia, I think they would take Virginia over Virginia Tech, and a lot of coaches would too. And I think that's weird to say, but it's the truth.
As Brandon laid out, one thing is true: chaos is coming, and we are coming right back here on Wake Up Barstool FS1. What up, y'all? Hope you're having a great Monday. Welcome back to Wake Up Barstool. So it is Monday. The weekend just happened. And one of the wildest videos, the wildest stories from the entire weekend was Zach Bryan trying to fight Gavin Adcock at Adcock's own concert, climbing over a barbed wire fence. It sounds insane, but it happened. And we've actually got Gavin right here on Wake Up Barstool to talk about it. Gavin, what's up, bro? What's going on, man?
Oh, not much. Living the dream. Can't complain.
Hey, look at our guy sitting there, rocking chair on the porch. Gavin, what the hell was that this weekend? Did you have any idea that Zach Bryan was going to show up and do that?
Well, when we got to the festival, some of the people that ran the festival said, "Which one let you know Zach Bryan said he's going to come by today? He lives somewhere around here." And I was like, "All right, that's fine. I ain't got nothing to do with that guy." And he comes in with his 2 security guards, big 6'4" guys, real tough guy, you know, and sees me standing between the buses. We're about to do a cold plunge. He said some cutty stuff, walked on, and then proceeded to linger around the bus for about an hour and a half while we were sitting in there watching some college football. And he finally left. And then I was outside smoking one, and he pulled by in a truck and then made this big old fence situation. And I wasn't going to fight him because I had a show to play. I had business to take care of. Hundreds of thousands of dollars on the line. 10,000 of his hometown fans out there screaming my name and screaming F him. Which I thought was hilarious. And so, yeah, I just basically talked some dirt with him until he raged out and climbed over the fence.
How does this
I
beef?
thought it was hilarious.
Like, well, he's not he's probably not my biggest fan, and vice versa. Obviously, Brianna Chicken Fry's ex-girlfriend works here. They had a big falling out. I think the guy's a psychopath. How did your beef with him come about? Like, where's this stemming from?
I saw a 14-year-old girl post complaining that she didn't get to sign or take a picture with Zach when he just blew on by while he was heading to his car at a concert. And he went in the comments and went off on her and said, "You're not entitled to anything when I play a 2.5-hour show, this, that, get off my D." And so I just stepped in. I was like, why do people idolize you? Why do people even like come to your shows, or if they're not a good person? And obviously, if you can't handle criticism from a 14-year-old girl, you don't deserve the spotlight that you have. So I got asked that question a few times. I doubled down, and then I guess he'd been sitting at home twiddling his thumbs thinking about it for too long.
So next question, and you're a bigger guy. You played D1 football, went viral for chugging a beer on top of a moving bus. I don't know if we have that video. That's insane. But playing at Georgia Southern, got booted, started this career. Tougher guy than me. When I saw Zach, now, if I'm understanding, he's in the venue, so he had plenty of time to actually fight you or attack you, do whatever in the venue. He waits till he's outside. But how do you jump a barbed wire fence? Was he like bleeding when he landed?
He ripped his pants when he got over. He got halfway over and his pants got caught. And there was 7 security guards standing around, not only for my safety, but for his safety. And if I would have took off after him or he would have took off after me, the security guards were just going to grab us and hem us up and not let us do anything. Plus, I was just being the bigger man, you know. He seems, y'all like to call him the smallest man in the world. He seems to wear that fucking pretty good.
Now, do you care? Because obviously he's not. I don't like the guy. I've seen the comments. There are some being like, yeah, well, Gavin was scared of him. He got over the fence. He walked away. Does that bother you? You just stick with listen, I can take this guy anytime I want to. How big are you, by the way?
I'm 6 foot 240.
Oh yeah. So I mean, this would have been a massacre.
Yeah. Man, I played nose guard, which is the toughest position on the field. It's a train wreck every play. I'm not scared of a dude that's 5'8". Maybe 200 pounds after jumping in the pool with a t-shirt on. But yeah, I mean, if he'd
Is
have
this
caught
good
me
for
after
your
the
career,
show,
though? In a weird way, and we have you on, and I don't want to just talk about Zach, about you. Your career is exploding. This actually, in show business, any publicity is good publicity. People who may not, I mean, he's a megastar. You can say whatever you want about the guy, but he's huge in the country world right now. So, I mean, if you're cutting a promo for your own career, was this a blessing in disguise?
everything that happens that's bad or positive for media is a blessing in disguise. People are like talking in the comments about how I was going to lose followers. I'm like, nah, I'm up about 30,000 followers in 2 days on Instagram. The streams are going to look great this year. I just dropped the biggest album of my career, 24 songs. I've dropped a song a month since I started. And I'm just coming after playing stadiums as well. So I hope we beat the attendance record in America when it's all said and done.
Hell yeah, Gavin. Look, man, we're all big college football guys around here. Actually, shout out George Southern. I grew up in Georgia. Remember watching him win national championships back then. What was the water they just sent us, Bloody? The beautiful Eagle Creek water?
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's
we got
magical superpowers right here.
Look, we got it right here. Go to Bloody. We got that Georgia Southern magical creek water right here sent to us from the Eagles, bruh. What is like when you're on tour, you're out about, what does college football mean to you? Like, are you all locked in all Saturday?
Oh, we've been itching for college football to come back all year. Usually we just sit on the bus all day if there's no college football and wait till it's about appropriate time to drink. And that's all we got to do. We play some NCAA, we drank, but now we got a ball on from probably 11 a.m. to when we get off stage. It's just keep us occupied.
One of us, dude. One of us.
Yep.
Gavin,
Thank you for coming on, Gavin.
Yeah, Gavin, thank you so much, bro. That was awesome, man. Best of luck with the tour, the streams, the album's awesome. Thank you so much.
Appreciate y'all. Y'all have a damn good one.
You too,
Thank
brother.
you.
Man, Brandon, that felt good.
I spent my whole life being way too intimidated by those fences with barbed wire on top, I think. He did it way easier than I thought it could be done.
I don't understand how it worked. I still don't understand it, but you know.
I would have been intimidated. I am a wimp. You guys are both big boys. Like, I hate Zach Bryan. I saw Zach Bryan jumping over a barbed wire fence coming at me. I would be out of there so fast, like Carl Lewis, to quote Danny Boy Kane. Not my cup of tea. I am a verbal warrior. Once things get physical, that's my time to go. That's my cue to hit the road.
Again, though, Adcock would have kicked his ass.
Nose guard.
He played nose guard in Georgia Southern. Like, it's not even close. So anybody saying that in the comments, get the hell out of here. All right. Hey, Monday Night Football picks and predictions coming up next. Wake Up Barstool. What up, y'all? Wake Up Barstool. And here at Barstool, look, we love to gamble. And one of the underrated highlights of the weekend is one that only gamblers would care about. As Penn State, who still has yet to start their season. Yep. Eventually, they're going to have to play like a game. But playing Villanova, massive favorites, covering here, and on 4th and goal, Villanova rolls out on the run throw and a one-handed catch in the back of the end zone to send all those Nittany Lion bettors to an early loss. Unreal stuff here, guys.
It is a shame that that is kind of a meaningless touchdown for Villanova, because that should be on their highlight reel forever. That catch, that imagery of the back of the end zone, look at that. That is beautiful. But yeah, tough for Penn State bettors.
I think it was 47 was the spread. And the thing about that, there's 3 groups of people. If you went to Villanova, maybe you bet the game. Penn State, you bet the game. Or an absolute degenerate.
Right.
Nobody else. So, like, that play matters for those 3 groups of people and nobody else. That catch reminds me of the guy from the Lions, Tesla, who is like just a human highlight reel of catches.
Isaac Tesla's a superhuman. You got to wonder how Arkansas can find ways to use him. Hillsdale College kid.
Yeah.
Tesla was great yesterday, 2 A's. And then, that throw, though, back to the Villanova game, that was like the Cam Ward throw from yesterday, which I was surprised Coach Gruden didn't highlight more. Maybe it's because one of those throws that, like, coaches go crazy about, you never make. But play the Cam Ward throw. This is one of the top 10 throws I've ever seen in my entire
It's
life.
legitimately one of the best throws I've ever seen. One of the craziest throws. I don't know about best because it is a terrible idea. You never do this. You never throw it across your body back to the middle of the field. But he basically throws a horizontal fade route.
Bro, he was on the run at the 25.
Yeah.
And he
I
throws.
know you guys are both movie guys, Major League. It's the nice catch, Mays. Don't ever do it again. That's
exactly.
like, you absolutely cannot survive long term making this throw. Amazing. Don't ever do it again.
All right, guys, Monday Night Football coming up tonight. We got Bucks, we got Texans. Where's everybody's heads at going into it?
So I like the Texans against the Bucks. They're at home. They were not good in Week 1. They weren't good last year. I'm still going to hold on to some shred of belief in C.J. Stroud, some shred of, all right, now it's Monday Night Football, time to stand up and be counted and be who you're going to be. Bucks got lucky, not lucky, but Bucks kind of stole one on the road last week in Atlanta. I don't think they can do it again in Houston.
To me, franchise game. I thought the Houston Texans, because if you recall, last year I said I thought they're going to win. I picked them preseason Super Bowl. The year the Chiefs won it, they battered them in the playoffs. And you're like, oh, this is an up-and-coming team. Their window looked like it closed. Their offensive line, trash. Now you have a team, the Bucks, who are trendy. A lot of people like the Bucks. If the Bucks are who you think the Bucks are, they win this game. If the Texans want to kind of rebound, be like, hey, don't forget about us, they win this game. I know it's week 2, but I'm being serious. The winner of this game has to be taken seriously, and I think the loser doesn't. I think the Bucks are going to win because I am not sold watching the Texans every single week, being like, where is this team I was expecting?
I agree. I'm serious about the Bucks, not about the Texans. Bucks win. And then we got Chargers, Raiders, guys. Can Justin Herbert follow up on a fantastic Week 1 performance?
I don't see why not. I mean, the guy's got everything going for him. He's got the coaching. He's got the weapons now that are going around.
Got the girlfriend.
He's got the girlfriend. Thank you very much, Meek Phil. You've been waiting on that drop in the entire show to shut up.
Yeah, I was waiting
Beer.
until 8:57 to say that.
All right, well, we got the Madison beer drop from Meek Phil. I see no reason why not. The Chargers seem like the ascendant team this year. Seems like this is the year that they go up and try to grab the brass ring or at least become next up. Maybe I'm wrong, but it feels like it.
Do you think that's coaching, Walker? Like they got
I just said.
Great head coach, great
just
assistants.
said.
Maybe they know football, and maybe, they're the ascendant team because of the coaching staff.
There's never been a doubt that Jim Harbaugh is a very good NFL football coach. It was only in college where he had to stack the deck and do things that he can't do.
So did you think he was any good at Stanford?
Pretty solid Stanford coach, pretty solid. Then, of course, he had 4 or 5 years at Michigan where it never quite happened, and then something changed along the way. Now, I can't put my finger on it, but something changed and turned him into a championship coach. And, of course, when you become a championship team, obviously you immediately leave for the NFL. That's what everybody always does.
So this game, this is a good rivalry because Carroll, who was asked about Harbaugh, give me any good memories, he said, I have none. They really don't care for each other at all. I'm going to take the Chargers here, but I wouldn't bet it. Like, this is a coin flip game to me. This is a good rivalry game even without the coaches. These two teams hate each other. Excited to watch it. I'll take the Chargers, but nothing would surprise me here.
Yeah, I got Chargers winning, but I got the Raiders covering at home here. What Carroll has done there, bringing Geno back, or reuniting with Geno, I should say, who is legitimately good, right? He's maybe not great, not top 10, but he is good. He's solid. I like the Ashton Genty draft pick. This is a Raiders team that, whatever, their ceiling may not be super high, but Carroll has raised the floor so much. They're very, very competent now.
Real quick, how many fights you think come out of this game tomorrow morning?
In the stands?
Yeah.
Oh, over 2.5.
3.
Oh, wow. Okay, 3. There you
I'm
go.
going to put 4.5.
I have 7.
7?
Yep.
Wow,
Gonna
big
be
number.
a bloodbath. Also, Bucks and Raiders.
Hey, guys, thank you so much for joining us this Monday edition of Wake Up Barstool. We'll be back tomorrow, 8 to 10 a.m. Eastern on FS1. Later.